I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Stellina. Together, we are moms to 5 children, including 2 sets of twins.
At Tweet Dreams, we are passionate about helping families achieve the peaceful night's rest they deserve because we were formerly overwhelmed and sleep deprived ourselves.
We love nothing more than helping families achieve their specific sleep goals,
so the whole family can be rested and thriving.
On this podcast, you'll not just hear about sleep-related topics. We'll chat about how it started,
where we are today,
and the experiences that have shaped us as mothers of twins.
We hope you'll enjoy listening to the ups and downs,
the highs and lows, and everything in between.
Hi guys, we're back. A little bit of a summer hiatus, which was much welcomed. So we're excited to be back today just to record a catch up, right, Stellina?
For sure.
I don't know about you, but I think we needed a little bit of a break. I was looking back and we had cranked out a weekly episode since last September. So
almost a year. Wow. That's crazy.
I know, we're dedicated and I think we put out a lot of great content, but the summer just was let's just step back. I was traveling. You had a lot going on with your summer travel and just weekend getaways. So we just wanted to catch up. Let you guys know what we've been up to. I know we shared a travel episode way back, and I had shared that I was taking a long trip. Okay, my husband and I were going to celebrate our 10-year wedding anniversary. I turned 40 this year, so I wanted to celebrate that, right? And we had booked a trip to Scotland. Wasn't the first time we've taken a trip away from our kids. Wasn't the first time we've gone to Europe. I had shared that it was just feeling a little bit heavier, a little bit different now that my kids are older, right? Long story short, the trip was amazing.
I'm so happy about that.
Time.
I know you were had a lot of feelings, so I'm glad that it was positive.
Yes. And I even told you it was 50% anxious, 50% excited. Mm-hmm. And then the closer we got to the trip, I was feeling more excited than nervous. And guys, the trip was awesome. If you ever get a chance to go to the UK, please go. I'm a history buff. I love old stuff. I love the countryside. It just was really, really great. So my kids did really, really well. Like I said, they've had a lot of practice with us traveling, which I think is a good thing. They've had a lot of practice. And so, I prepped them for the trip well enough in advance. I bought them a present. I wrote them a cute little note every day so that they could open that. And they did awesome. And I'm just going to say that I think once we got back, we saw the repercussions of the trip a little bit, right? Especially with my baby B. She's just a more emotional gal at baseline.
Same.
And and she had about a week of some stuff. So we worked through it, we talked about it. And now that we're almost 2 weeks back from the trip, I feel like we're back where we need to be. So take the trip, do the things, everything will be exactly how you left it when you get back. I can vouch for that. Right. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. Have a week and a half left before school starts, which is insane. Let me just tell you, I've really enjoyed the lack of pressure that I felt this summer, just with, no homework, no school pickup drop-offs. I mean, we're doing camps and things like that, but just summer just feels just
easier,
more relaxed. Yeah, just more relaxed. The weather's nice. So we're preparing to go back to school. And so that's kind of us in a nutshell. So Stellina, what's been going on with you guys?
Quite a lot, actually, now that I think back. So one big thing, and Lindsay, you really, held my hand through this, is the twins started swimming last week. So they're 3.5 and they've been in pools before, but never taken any formal swimming lesson or anything like that. We don't have a pool, but we are constantly around pools and beaches. My husband would have done this a long time ago. I was kind of wait, it's no secret that I'm a germaphobe. So I kind of, when I think of public pools or like pools with a lot of people in them, I just think of like kids peeing in the pool and spitting in the pool. And I'm just like, ugh, gross. But like, let's be serious. It's fine. There's chlorine. The kids loved it. That was huge. My husband brought them. They absolutely loved it. No issues. I guess we can kind of talk about the fact that when I bring them to some activities, for example, tennis, they do tennis once a week. Sometimes it can be a little bit stressful, mommy, like maybe like not wanting to play as much, kind of like wanting to goof off, sometimes wanting to play, sometimes not. When my husband brings them to stuff, and who knows? I mean, this was only the first swim lesson, so I'm sure there was like some element of newness. Of course, they just like, oh yeah, no problem, Daddy. Sure, Daddy. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, do you go through that?
I will say, yeah, kind of. Well, I take my kids to mostly everything, to be honest, but except if it pertains to golf. But I will say that this is instructor-led lessons for your kiddos, because that starts at 3 years old. Usually, typically, we can do it instructor-led, because anything before that's like that parent kind of like, oh, we're just...
Yeah. And I didn't want to do that. I was like, first of all, with twins, you need 2 people. So that already is kind of annoying. And then, I mean, I can swim to save my life, and I can swim. Like I took swimming lessons like later in life, like maybe like age 9 or something like that. But, I guess it is a really good skill, right? And like, I'm not like, super passionate about swimming by any means, but I feel like it's a good thing to know. It's really good exercise. The twins seem to like it right now. So as much as they like it, we'll do it, see how much they can gain. And yeah, so that's new. The other thing is we're getting a new car. And I only mention this because right now we have a really large SUV, and we put the twins in the 3rd row and two separate car seats, obviously. And then my son is behind the passenger in the 2nd row. So it's been working up until now, I guess. It just gets really like annoying because in order to put the twins in the 3rd row, whoever's putting them in has to like hoist themselves like in the 3rd row to like help them. And they can get in the seats just fine. Don't get me wrong. We're trying to teach them how to buckle themselves, like plus or minus, they can do it. But of course, we still have to check it. If we're in a rush, we're kind of just like throwing them in there, like, all right, get in. And it's just like really, it's gotten to be like uncomfortable for us now. I feel like we never were like massive SUV type people. We were always like mid-size SUV people. And we are going to put all 3 kids across now in 1 row. So I am really excited. I have mixed feelings because part of me is like, okay, they're going to be like closer than they've ever been in a car. They've never been like 3 in a row. So I am interested to see how that goes. But I also like selfishly for my back, I have like a bad back, and I am just like so excited to be able to just like put them in the 2nd row, have them like a little bit closer to, the driver, if you will, because like when the kids are all the way in the back, it's good. Don't get me wrong. But like we all do it. We all try to give our kids something in the 2nd row, even if it's like unsafe sometimes. And I can't do that with the kids all the way in the 3rd row, right? Like even at a stoplight, I can't like stop, bend over, get her water and like give it to her, right? It's not possible. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited.
He also said that it frees up some trunk space. Yes,
that is a huge thing, actually. I'm glad you brought that up because we utilize the 3rd row in our car because we have to, because we have, what's it called? The bucket seats? No, not captain's chairs. Sorry. Yep. We have to use the 3rd row to have all 3 kids in the car. And because of that, our trunk is actually like so small, and we find ourselves using that like extra space in between the 2nd and 3rd row to put stuff, like groceries or luggage, whatever. So it's really apparent that we need a bigger trunk. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, I will definitely give you guys an update once it happens. I also think this is just like a good move for the future. Like once the kids are out of the car seats eventually, like we plan on keeping the car for a long time. I think, it'll just make more sense, for the future as well. So stay tuned.
Definitely. So who gets put in the middle?
Okay, good question. I'm gonna put my son still on the end, just because he's the hardest one to get in. Like he's almost 2 years old. He can actually get in on his own, but like I definitely need to have access to him from a door. So I've decided I'm going to put him on either side, and the twins will still be close together. Eventually we'll move these kids to boosters. I mean, my son is definitely far from a booster. He's only 2, but the girls are 3.5. And I mean, to be completely honest, they're only a couple pounds away from like the low end of the booster range, which is kind of crazy, actually.
Hey girl, are you tired? Not only tired from lack of sleep, but tired from searching all over the internet for sleep advice that's specific to your twins? Here at Tweet Dreams, we know that twin-specific advice and routines should be easy to find and access, and that's why we are a one-stop shop for you as a sleep resource. Our blog is chock full of advice for twins when it comes to naps, night weaning, sleeping through the night, and so much more. Not sure where to start? Be sure to grab our free twin sleep guide available for download today. This guide will walk you through an optimal bedtime routine, how to keep them synced throughout the day, and how to keep a routine going. As twin moms, we know how special those breaks are, and we want you to have them. Check out the show notes to grab your copy.
So yeah, actually, can I ask you, when did you transition your twins to a booster seat? Do you remember?
Yes. We transitioned probably earlier in my husband's truck, because we've had 4 car seats since the beginning, because his vehicle, my vehicle. And so he went to like a high back booster probably sooner, just because they're not in that vehicle very much. And the ones that were in there, I think they had grown out of. So they did stay in a 5-point harness, like actual convertible car seat in my car. Gosh, I don't even know. They were probably 5. And I had the convertible car seat. It was the Even Flow Triumph XL. So it had really, like, the ranges for height and weight were very broad, right? And I bought that seat because of that. And they don't even make it anymore, which is annoying. So we were able to stay in the 5-point harness for a while. And then we went to high back boosters. So I might have an Even Flow now in my car. And he's got a Graco Transitions, which had the high back, and he's actually taken that off. So they're just in like a free floating booster in his seat in his car. And then we still have the high back for my car. And all the high back does is keep the seatbelt where it's supposed to be, because it feeds through the top, versus if we just have a straight up booster, the child's able to be like, oh, let's just, and we need maturity for that to be like, nope, we need the seatbelt to run across our chest. It needs to go across our lap. And at this point I could get rid of it, but I'm like,
there's no reason. Yeah. That was actually going to be my question, because eventually we are going to get, a booster probably on the sooner end rather than later end. I would just get one that converts. So it's a high back, and then you just take the back off, and then it's just I think we'll probably look into that, like, in the near future, just because having all 3 kids across, and my husband is just gung-ho for it. Oh my God, the car seat we have right now is like so bulky and huge, and just like, it is what it is. It's safe. That's all that matters. But now that they're getting towards the weight limit, we can have like a whole conversation about car seats and like what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. And I just feel like with what we're doing with 3 kids, it's just like, we need it to be easy and safe, right? So I read something somewhere that's like, they're all safe as long as you use them properly. So I'm going to go find one that's convenient for us, because I think the car seat that we bought initially, I don't know, I was like a first time mom. I was like, okay, Graco, good brand. Didn't even like look at it. And it is good. It's just like so bulky and just has like a lot of extra parts that I don't think we need. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I agree. And I have a new car-ish. I got it last October, but it's got the 3rd row. And so just this past weekend, my twins were like, Mom, can we sit in the back row? Please, please, please. We've just been wanting to. It's going to be the best day of my life. Sit back there. I know. And I'm like, sure, but this is fine. It's fine. Like, for everyday use, it doesn't make sense for you guys to be all the way back there, but whatever. Well, sadly, I took one of them and put it back there, but it's one of those, like you said, big cushy ones. It's got the cup holders on either side.
Yes, the cup holders. Yeah.
So because of that, we couldn't get the seatbelt. Like the cup holder, the, the seat was too wide. So we couldn't get the seatbelt in. oh my gosh, she was so sad. And I'm like, you know what? we'll borrow your dad's car seat sometime. We'll put those in there. We'll go for a ride around the neighborhood. I don't know why it's so important for you to do that. They just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, so when we don't use car seats anymore, we can just get in the car and pick where we want to sit.
I know. Can you believe that? It's craziness.
I know. And I was like, yeah, eventually. So yeah, that's funny. Okay, so car seats, swim lessons. You guys have taken some trips, or not trips, but like weekend getaways.
Yeah.
You've got your son's second birthday coming up.
I know. 10 days. Oh my God, he's going to be 2 in 10 days. August 11th. We're recording this August 1st. Yeah, he's going to be 2. And honestly, he looks 3 years old already. So I feel like he's already been 2 for so long. He just does everything early.
He just runs with the pack.
He's big.
He runs with the pack, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. He like speaks full sentences. This child, he really shocks me every day. And I know it's because he has 2 older siblings that are close enough in age, but old enough in age where he just like wants to copy them, do everything that they're doing. I mean, yeah, he can speak sentences. It's actually really nice because he's able to like communicate like fairly well, but let's be serious. He's still a 2-year-old. So we are definitely going through that terrible 2 thing, quote unquote. I've kind of forgot about it until we encountered the no phase. Everything's no. Nope, no. Even if you could ask him, do you want $1 million? No. Everything's no. I mean, as far as like 2-year sleep regression stuff, I'm reminded that also is a thing for sure. Just seeing that like it's a little bit harder for him to go down for naps. He gives me like a little bit of a harder time. And when I say harder time, like I've been really blessed with him because I sleep trained him really early. I was a second-time mom and I had twins previously. So I kind of knew what to do, especially with the certification and everything. He's been like awesome. So when I put him down and he cries, I'm kind of like, what do you mean? Like, what are you doing? Usually just accept sleep, no problem. So yeah, probably like a little bit of undertiredness, if I'm being honest, coupled with just like him being stronger, having some FOMO. Like I usually put him down maybe like 10 minutes before his sisters. We're all on the same schedule over here. But for my own like sanity, I just put him down a little bit sooner. And he realizes that now. He's like, why are you putting me down now? And like, not them. Like, what the heck? You're going to leave and go do something fun with them. So yeah, that's just been a little bit of a struggle, but we're getting through it. Nothing that I wouldn't expect, just when it's your kid, you're like, oh, I can kind of empathize with my clients a little bit more when I'm like, oh yeah, this is it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
FOMO at that age, separation anxiety, and just the understanding that there's things that goes on when we're not around, or my twin or my sisters are doing that, or mom's doing that. I don't want to miss out. And I think, hopefully it's you feel a little bit more secure about it because you've been there, done that with your other 2. And I do remember when they were 2 and they were regressing, and my kids regressed at 2. I've had like an influx of client strategy calls for 2-year-olds. And a lot of time it's just reaffirming the schedule.
Right.
Like, a 2-year-old usually needs a schedule tweak, just like you said. We need a schedule tweak.
Yeah.
There's a lot of undertiredness going on, and also reaffirming that, like, what is our routine? Like, maybe we've let some things slide. Maybe we're not being as black and white as we should be, because what we know about toddlers is they need very specific, straightforward boundaries, expectations, and consistency. And it's also an exciting time because you can start using tools such as like a bedtime chart, using a toddler clock, like the Hatch, red light, green light, all that fun stuff. So it is a fun time. And I do think we have a lot of content out there for 2-year-olds because there's
a lot going on. Yeah, there's just like so much development that I
potty training forgot about. Coming.
Oh my God.
So thank you for sharing that. I can't believe he's 2 years old. Like, everything's just going by. I feel like
he was just born and now he's 2.
I know.
But it's good. It's good. It's I welcome it.
Yep. So I just wanted to touch on that. I have been in an anxious, what do you call it? Like a anxiety spiral, or just when I came back from my trip, I felt And, you planning a big trip like that's like planning a wedding, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, so much planning. And so when you come back, you do feel a little bit deflated and depressed. I just feel like I've been not in a good headspace, and just wanted to share that I'm working through some of that. So yay for me, taking some steps.
Yeah, hooray.
And also that even though my twins are 6, and we just talked about this yesterday, Stellina, you're like, I get the problems I have now, but I'm not, blind to the fact that I'm still going to have problems later. They're just going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm like living that. And I think you're kind of seeing what I'm going through. So you're understanding that the problems just change. We still have issues and anxieties being parents. And so I shared on Instagram the other day that, I take my kids to the doctor. It's the appointment was fine. I wasn't stressed. Everybody was good, besides really complaining how hungry they were. So I was like, oh, okay, so let's go. Even though it was 4:00 and I shouldn't have done it, I took them to get ice cream. And then we get home, and my picture in my mind that I had about how the rest of our evening was going to go was completely just obliterated by 2 kids, And I just was so thrown off by that. It still gets me sometimes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like we think, and I used to do this all the time. Oh, we're going to go to the park and we're going to take this picnic lunch, and the light breeze is going to be blowing, and everybody's going to be like in a
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And what's happening behind the scenes is not the photo that got put up on Instagram, right? There's 17 other things that went sideways. And so I just wanted to share that I'm still getting steamrolled by my expectations versus what actually happens. And I got quite a few responses, people saying like, thank you so much for sharing this, because I feel really alone, that I'm the only one that gets so defeated by what we think is going to happen versus what actually does happen.
And I'm with you. And I feel like I've kind of done a better job at just like, I don't know, managing my expectations. And I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I feel like I just have my expectations really low at times now. And I think it might be like a coping mechanism, because I'm like, okay, if I just think everything's just going to go haywire and it doesn't, then I'm winning, right? But I mean, we should be positive. We should always think like, let's keep a positive mindset. But at the same time, I mean, obviously I have a 2-year-old and 2 3-year-olds. So hi. But I just try and be like, okay, like I want everything to go like this. I'm going to plan everything to go like this, but I'm not going to expect it to go like this. I'm not going to expect to leave at the time I think I'm going to leave. Like I always leave later than I want to leave. Like I always forget something. I don't know, something always goes wrong. We're always in traffic or something, right? And somebody's always has to pee, like when I asked them to pee before they left. But then I'm like, okay, but everyone's fine. And we made it and we had fun and everyone's alive. Yeah, right. See, my expectations so low. Everyone's living.
Yeah.
But it's taken me like a long time to get there. And obviously some days, like I've talked to you about this, like when I'm tired, it's just, really hard for me. So that's why, I'm in this career, because I like can't live my life being as tired as I used to be, for sure.
100%. I mean, getting off the jet lag from my trip probably wasn't helping.
I think so. Yeah.
And my husband's like looking at me like, are you going to be okay? And I'm like, I just need to go lay down. Like, I'm so tired. And yeah, the older I get, I just need to be rested. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that, and that sometimes I just feel like the responsibility of being the 80% caregiver for my children to live, breathe, and have lunch every day, it just weighs.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm with you.
So,
like, yeah.
And I'm just like, can I just run away? Like, can somebody else do this, please? Because I just need a moment. I will say last night that my kids played really well together. They built a fort in my one daughter's room. It looks like a bomb went off, but I honestly don't care. They're playing. And then my husband's like, I'm going to cook dinner and I'm going to take them downstairs to watch TV. And I got to watch the Olympic replay of the women's all-around gymnastics, which I love the Olympics. And I just thought to myself, wow, okay, I did get a moment, where I could still feel like a human, do what I want to do. My kids are safe and well. And my husband's kind of stepping up to the plate right now, but on the other end of that coin, he's just left for 4 days. So I guess
it's give and take, it's all give and take. And I feel like a lot of the time the moms, we're the mom, like we just step up and do it, like it has to be done. Lunch has to be made. This has to be done. If we don't do it, they're too small to do a lot of these things. Right.
I know.
So,
the universe just knows that we'll do it. Like, it's just,
we love them. We have to do it. Like, I mean, as much as my kids annoy me, I'm like, they have to eat, like they have to get cleaned. Like, so
I know.
But yeah, it's all good. I try to look at the positive, and, we've talked to mothers who have kids a lot older than us, and they're like, we have to beg our kids to hang out with us now. And they just like are so good, and they hang out with their friends, and like, they're just, it's so much different. So we're still in it. They're still kids, and I'm with you.
We wouldn't have it any other way. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is like a really nice catch up. I think we're feeling refreshed and ready. We've worked with quite a few clients over the summer, especially you, Stellina, while I was away. So thank you so much for that. Lots of good families and outcomes coming through our program at Tweet Dreams. And we'll jump back on the horse here and get some other sleep topics and parenting topics coming out maybe every other week if we're up for it. So no pressure for us to, be showing up every week anymore. But if we do, it'll be a nice surprise. So thank you so much for listening and welcome back. We're happy to be back. Hope everybody's having a wonderful summer, and we will catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
If you liked this episode and conversation, be sure to leave a review or rating. Share it with a friend on social media or a family member. It's our goal to reach as many parents of multiples and singletons alike. You're not alone in your parenting journey. If you'd like to hear about a specific topic or have an episode idea, please feel free to message us. We're here to help.